Coming up at 10, find out what happens when it's time to discharge undocumented immigrants after treatment concludes.
A heartbroken family speaks out. I'm Dina Demetrius with the latest on the girl killed by a stray bullet in an LAPD shooting.
And hours after a massive search by YPD, a suspect tonight remains at large. What we know about the person of interest and where the search stands right now.
13 on Your Side starts now.
Good evening and happy holidays. Thank you so much for choosing to be with us tonight on 13 on Your Side. I'm Scott Gross. We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Yuma tonight, where the Yuma Police Department was conducting a widespread search attempting to serve a felony warrant. The suspect remains at large tonight. It was quite a busy scene near 14th Avenue and 11th Street this afternoon. A sergeant with YPD telling 13 on Your Side the search was on for a person with a felony and misdemeanor warrant. We counted almost a dozen YPD and state trooper vehicles at the scene. The activity drew many neighbors outside of their homes to check on what exactly was going on.
Had to call work and let them know that there's some activity going on. Knowing that there's somebody out here that, has something they're looking for, and, it makes me worried to have my kid outside all the time and me outside. That's why I have a German Shepherd, so he protects me.
Along with all of the unmarked and marked police vehicles, law enforcement also used a helicopter and drone before the search was called off. To Mexicali, where police arrested one of the most wanted criminals in Baja California. Officers say they found 31-year-old Felipe, also known as Omega. Police say they got a tip of his whereabouts yesterday after a neighbor called 911 to report gunshots. Officers arrested a total of 4 people, including Omega. He's allegedly a member of the Sinaloa drug cartel operating in Mexicali and San Luis, Mexico. They're in a heavy dispute with other criminal organizations trying to claim turf in the ongoing drug wars.
Felipe has 3 pending crimes. The other people are Alexis, Andrea, and their underage girl do not have any criminal history. Until now, Felipe is placed at the disposal of the public prosecutor's office for the charge of carrying a weapon and explosives, since during the arrest a 55.6 caliber rifle was seized and a small weapon, as well as over 76 bullets that were found in the car.
Omega is still in jail while the Attorney General decides what charges to file on him. The family of a girl accidentally shot and killed by Los Angeles police as she hid from an attacker in a department store dressing room spoke out for the first time today. The shooting happened as the girl and her mother were shopping for Christmas gifts at a Burlington department store in North Hollywood. Dina Demetrius has the latest from Los Angeles.
Valentina, danos fuerza. The mother of Valentina, Oriana Peralta, tearfully recounted the moment her daughter died in her arms inside a department store dressing room 2 days before Christmas. The 14-year-old was struck by a stray bullet when police opened fire on a man carrying out an attack on other shoppers inside this Burlington department store.
Cuando algo impactó a mi hija, Valentina.
Soledad Peralta said she and her daughter were hiding, hugging and praying as the commotion unfolded. LAPD body camera video shows several officers arriving at the scene with their guns drawn after calls of an assault and a possible shooting in progress. Surveillance video captured the suspect attacking customers with what appeared to be a bicycle lock before police arrived. Officers caught up with the suspect, 24-year-old Daniel Elena Lopez, near a woman he was beating with the lock. An officer opened fire, killing Lopez. The search of the store revealed Valentina had also been shot.
Valentina's life matters! Valentina's life matters!
The family is demanding accountability.
Never should this 14-year-old little girl ended up as collateral damage at a shopping plaza.
A memorial for Valentina grows larger every day here at the store. Valentina's father described his only child as a young girl excited about receiving good grades so she could become an engineer and a U.S. citizen. The LAPD is promising a thorough investigation. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Police did not find a gun on the suspect. LAPD Chief Michael Moore told KCBS TV that the use of deadly force is always the last resort. The officer involved in the shooting is now on paid administrative leave. Now to the latest on that small plane crash in El Cajon last night. Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are still at the scene. The Learjet was carrying 4 people when it crashed into the residential area of El Cajon in San Diego County. None of the 4 people on board survived. The NTSB says the plane came down about 1.5 miles from the runway at Gillespie Field. 1 home was damaged, but no one on the ground was hurt. Almost 12 hours later, neighbors are still shaken.
As I'm looking, you just hear the second explosion, and then you see boom, just like the, just like the fire go off and everything. But yeah, it was really hectic. All the cars going by, and just everything on top. Plus, it was raining. It was almost like a movie scene. It was intense for sure.
The plane was registered to Sterling Silver Flyers LLC out of Missoula, Montana. Firefighters found no survivors at the scene. No one was hurt on the ground. Again, the medical examiner will investigate and identify the victims once family members have been notified. Let's take a look outside, see how things are going. We're at 55 degrees in Yuma, 54 degrees in El Centro. You are looking at the RV World of Yuma Skycam. We've got some cloud cover out there as well. We've got some light breezes and some gusty conditions throughout the area tonight, and that will change tomorrow. We're expecting maybe some rain tomorrow as well. Coming up in your first alert forecast, winter showers could begin tomorrow as we wash away 2021. We also could see some overnight freezes throughout the desert Southwest, and one more merry and bright holiday photo to share with you today. All of this coming up in just a little bit. With the rising number of undocumented immigrants coming into the country through the Yuma sector, Yuma Regional Medical Center has also seen a spike in the number of patients. 13 on your side's Arlette Youssef has more from YRMC on how they're handling this very latest surge.
Yuma Regional Medical Center has treated over 1,000 undocumented immigrants throughout 2021, in addition to working through the pandemic. Beginning in January, YRMC was seeing less than 50 undocumented immigrants a month. By April, that number rose to over 50 and has been consistent since.
The summertime, we started to see the increase. We certainly saw a significant increase of about 100 patients in the late part of the summer, every single month. And then in September, it was unusually high at like 175, almost 200 patients that were immigrants coming in for care. Most recently, we've seen it stick pretty much close to 100 patients a month.
While some undocumented immigrants were brought in by Border Patrol, about half of the people arrived at the hospital through other transportation, such as taxis and even Uber.
Our care team, both in the labor delivery and the emergency room area where they typically would present with health needs, their role is to care for any patient who comes in. And they will continue to do that. And there's a human side to this as well, right? When you have another human being, and if you, as a care provider, people typically go into healthcare for this innate ability to really care for the human side of medical care.
As any patient arrives at the emergency room for care, it is not standard practice to ask someone for legal or immigration status. Once care is rendered, YRMC staff finds ways to get undocumented immigrants either back to Border Patrol for processing or to the nearest relative.
Many of these folks arrive at our hospital with very little or no resources. So when it's time to discharge the patients, it's real important at that time that we do what we can to connect them to resources so that we don't have them back into the hospital again for things that could have been prevented.
Headington says YRMC is a place for all in need of health care, and no one is turned away.
I mean, every person who presents to our doors, right, is deserving of care, and so we provide care to anyone who presents here.
YRMC says it receives financial assistance from Regional Center for Border Health on an as-needed basis for undocumented immigrants. The hospital has also seen an increase in the hospital taxi fund, which is used for all patients who need a ride after being discharged. The Arizona Department of Child Safety has provided infant car seats to the hospital to help keep newborns safe during transportation to Border Patrol or family nearby. YRMC works closely with Border Patrol to provide care to those in need. After the new year, we will bring you the latest on the Joint Task Force Civil Support Team's assessment and plan for future help that will be provided to YRMC. Reporting in Yuma, Arlette Youssef, 13 on your side.
And that leads us to our topic of the day today. Do you think too many resources are being put into taking care of migrants? 87% of you said yes, 13% of you said no. A big thank you to everyone who participated.
The White House is lifting travel restrictions on several southern African countries. I'm Deborah Alferone at the White House with how the administration is battling the highly contagious Omicron variant.
The engine is fine.
The car blew up. There was a big explosion. Boom, boom, boom.
Were you driving it at the time?
Yes.
I didn't know about that.
Hot bench.
A much anticipated event we have been mentioning in our newscast for quite some time now.
We figured what best way to give back than to take part in the Blankets for the Heart Drive. That's why we're here today.
When the weather starts to take a chill, Yuma comes together to warm hearts.
By donating jackets, socks, blankets, and anything toasty for those in need.
Our fellow anchor Vince Ibarra was supposed to be here with... Oh, gosh.
Luis!
I'm here.
Thank you, Yuma, for sharing with Crossroads Mission.
And making the season warmer for those in need.
Little one, you're gonna grow, and then you're gonna go. But I know, yes I know, you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Everybody has a flashlight, but can your flashlight do this? The Bell & Howell Tactical Flashlight can. The Bell & Howell Tac Light can do things no ordinary flashlight can do. Look, this civilian flashlight puts out pathetic light, but our military-grade Tac Light, that's 22 times as bright. It's so bright, it can be seen up to 2 nautical miles away. Only a Tac Light has a super bright strobe that can stun and disorient would-be attackers. A car battery will stop working in sub-zero temperatures, but even getting frozen in a block of ice couldn't make our Tac Light stop working. It's tough enough to survive getting run over by a Humvee. Try that with a regular flashlight.
You can get a Bell & Howell Tac Light complete with a lifetime guarantee for just $19.99 plus free shipping. And while supplies last, you can even get a second one. Just pay a separate fee.
To order, call 1-800-369-0338. That's 1-800-369-0338 or go to trytaclight.com.
Stand is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
"13 on Your Side" starts now.
Welcome back and happy holidays. I'm Scott Gross. As 2021 nears an end, concerns over a spike in COVID-19 cases and hours-long waits for tests continue in many parts of the country. And the CDC is hoping to ease staffing shortages in many industries, especially air travel. It's issued new guidance cutting isolation times by half to 5 days for infected people who aren't showing symptoms. Deborah Alferone has more from Washington.
We're doing a rapid test today.
Across the U.S., Americans are lining up for COVID-19 tests, and they're waiting sometimes for hours.
The hard reality is it's hard to get a COVID test. It shouldn't be that way, but that is the reality.
After spending time with family and friends, Kenneth Borski says he took a COVID test just to be sure.
Because if we don't know, then we could be spreading it around a lot further.
Massachusetts is one of at least 7 states now reporting record high daily infections, more cases than at any time since the start of the pandemic. New York City has seen its COVID case average climb to more than 20,000 a day. That's a nearly 11-fold increase in the last month.
Schools need to be open.
Now the nation's largest school system is ramping up testing to avoid quarantining entire classrooms when there's an outbreak.
We all need to work together to keep kids in school and learning, and we can do that by vaccinating, boosting, and masking up.
At midnight on December 31st, the Biden administration is lifting a ban on visitors from 8 countries in southern Africa. It was imposed after the Omicron variant was detected in November. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News.
The New York City Ballet added to a growing list of holiday classics shutting down because of COVID. It's canceling this season's remaining performances of the Nutcracker at the Lincoln Center. Here in the desert Southwest, with the rise in COVID cases following holiday get-togethers, the Imperial County Health Department is keeping a close eye on those numbers. 13 on your side's Wiley Jahari joined us from the Valley with more.
Yeah, to make matters worse, testing kits are running low once again. So to hopefully minimize some of that stress, the Imperial County Public Health Department are placing an order for more testing kits to avoid running out since the demand is so high. Christmas is over, but COVID-19 isn't. Numbers are spiking once again, and El Centro Regional Medical Center says this is the worst it's been for them since last year.
Last night, we admitted 26 patients.
ECRMC says a total of 139 patients are hospitalized with COVID. The Imperial County Public Health Department also confirming numbers are going up.
There's have been an increase in cases, compared to previous weeks. Right now we have a positivity of 16.1.
Vo Medical Center in Calexico is also feeling the impact of post-Christmas gatherings.
Actually, we're almost running out of the rapid test. So for supply, not enough.
Currently, there are 729 active cases of COVID across the valley. Public health officials say getting vaccinated will help you keep away from the ICU bed.
It's really amazing that people are still telling us that they did not find the time to get vaccinated, that they did not believe in the vaccination, that all these stories we hear, but they wind up getting COVID.
And that was Dr. Adolf Edward with ECRMC telling us the importance of getting vaccinated because 70% of his patients that have major symptoms are unvaccinated. And you can see right here behind me, more and more cars are coming in as the day ends to get tested because the holidays aren't over yet. And health experts say that they expect that number to go up. Reporting from El Centro, I'm Wiley Jahari.
The final week of 2021, what will it bring? How about we wash it away with a little bit of rain? I'll let you know when it'll arrive, possibly straight ahead in your First Alert forecast.
Distracted driving affected us.
Our beautiful daughter Ashley was only 12 years old when a distracted driver went through the light and ran into our van. Little did we know it was the last time we would see her alive.
The van rolled a couple times and it hit the side that Ashley was on.
It turned our world upside down. I lost a sister. I would never be able to get that back again.
I think that people should not be on their phones as much and text and drive because life is more important.
Next ET, Katy Perry's waking up in Vegas. What to expect from her new residency.
I actually play a doll.
The whole show? Plus, Rihanna's riches inside her billion-dollar empire.
It blows my mind.
Then, oh my gosh, yes, we're with the music stars sounding off on their exes.
That doesn't mean it's like all ruined.
And hitting relationship high notes.
Whatever Daddy says.
Next ET.
At Metro by T-Mobile, we know you deserve more for the holidays. So we're giving you more with the big 5G upgrade. More choices with the largest selection of free 5G phones like the Samsung Galaxy 5G. And more savings on one line of unlimited smartphone data for just $25 a month with 5G included at no extra cost. All with the power of the T-Mobile 5G network. So whether you're sharing and connecting or feasting with friends, get more for the holidays with your choice of a free 5G phone. Only at Metro.
Do you love spending your time on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok?
KYMA.com. All the news you need right at your fingertips.
If you have experience with WordPress, love doing everything you can to get eyeballs on a post or story, then KYMA.com is looking for someone like you to lead a team of digital experts into new frontiers. To apply, go to KYMA.com.
A much anticipated event we have been mentioning in our newscast for quite some time now.
We figured what best way to give back than to take part in the blankets for the heart drive. That's why we're here today.
When the weather starts to take a chill, Yuma comes together to warm hearts.
By donating jackets, socks, blankets, and anything toasty for those in need.
Our fellow anchor Vince Savard was supposed to be here with... Oh, gosh. Luis! I'm here.
Thank you, Yuma, for sharing with Crossroads Mission.
And making the season warmer for those in need.
A very good Tuesday evening to all of you across the Desert Southwest. Happy holidays to you and yours. Today is the final Tuesday in 2021. Yes, it's the final week that we have before we say goodbye to 2021 and hello to 2022. On Saturday, we're at 55 degrees right now in Yuma, 54 degrees currently in El Centro. We'll have the sun rise here in Mountain Time at 7:40. For those of you Pacific Time, you can expect the sun to rise at 6:44. Let's take a quick look outside on the RV world of Yuma Skycam. Light traffic out there. We do have some cloud cover and some slight breezes as well. You can see that tree moving just back and forth a little bit. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar, show you what we have throughout the area. Again, not much here. This is from 7:20. We will have lingering clouds in and off throughout the night, thin layers of clouds. We're kind of watching what's coming here from San Diego County. That could make its way into Imperial County sometime tomorrow. A look at our futurecast shows what we had going on today. We had the system coming in from the East Pacific. A lot of areas could have had some light rain, maybe some heavy rain in northern Arizona, but we actually saw some snow. We saw some light showers, but snow throughout portions just north of Phoenix. We're seeing more snow in the Great Lakes region and a band of showers making its way across the east. Back here in the Desert Southwest, our winds will start to taper off just a little bit into tomorrow morning. Then after lunchtime, we'll see those gusty winds come back, blowing anywhere between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Right now, our air quality index brought to us by the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District, still good. It's remained good all the way through the day today, all the way through the valley and on down to Mexicali. Let's take a look at those temperatures. We'll stay in the Imperial Valley. Calipatria 56, Imperial 53, El Centro's at 54, and Holtville is at 56. And across the county and state line into Yuma County, Arizona, we're at 54 in Yuma, 54 in San Luis, 54 in Somerton, and 53 in the foothills, Welton, Tacna, and Dateland. Our viewer photo of the day today, it's our merry and bright holiday photo. We're going to continue to share these all week long as we say goodbye to 2021 since it is the holiday season. This sent in by Hector Ochoa from Calexico, and he decided to decorate his house for the first time in many, many years. They usually leave for the holidays, but they stayed and they decorated for their 3-year-old grandchild. And Hector, you guys did a fantastic job. If you have a photo, we'd certainly want to see it as well so I can share it with the rest of us. Scan that QR code. That's just like taking a photo with your phone, and you'll magically be taken to the Merry and Bright page. From there, you can upload your photo from your phone, include your name and a slight description, just like Hector did. Let's take a look at our Metrocast, show you what we have going on tonight. We should be right around 49 degrees. Some clouds will still linger throughout the area. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., 46 degrees. Again, broken clouds throughout the area. And then tomorrow at high noon, we'll be right around 59 degrees, partly sunny skies. And again, 59. We're going to get a little bit warmer than that. Here's your 7-day forecast. Take a look at this. Breezy tomorrow. Our average for this time of year is 68 degrees. We're going to be well below that as we say goodbye to 2021. Rain coming into the area on Thursday and Friday. Take a look at some of the low temps, though. Starting on Saturday and Sunday, when we start 2022, we'll be down into the upper 30s. A different story for those of you in the Imperial Valley. Rain possibly coming in after 2 o'clock tomorrow. You could see rain tomorrow night and lasting all the way until about 10 a.m. on Friday morning. So maybe 3 doses of rain throughout portions of the Imperial Valley. Cooler, again, the average for this time of year, 68 degrees. But take a look at the lows on Saturday and Sunday. Near freezing. We could be at 33 degrees both Saturday morning when you wake up and Sunday morning when you wake up. Cooler temperatures ahead as we start 2022. Next on 13 on Your Side, we look back on the life of NFL icon John Madden. He died unexpectedly this morning at the age of 85.
It's time for a talk. If you're 45 or older, you need to get yourself screened for colon cancer. This disease can be very treatable when caught early, so the sooner you know what's up with your health, the better. The good news is that there's options for getting screened that are easier than you think. Get informed. Hey, we're all busy and we think, when would we fit it in? Well, make the time. It just might mean more time with your family down the road. If you're a man or a woman, 45 or older, I'm talking to you. I've lost good friends, young friends, to colon cancer. Don't make the mistake of waiting until you have symptoms or think that you have no risk because it doesn't run in your family. Everybody needs to be screened. So, take control. Get screened for colon cancer, 45 or older. Learn how. StandUpToCancer.org/colon cancer.
The new Miracle Blade World Class 2012 Professional Series is the best set of knives you'll ever own. The spectacular World Class 2012 Series, over a $300 value for just $39.95. But we're just getting started. We'll send you a complete second set of Miracle Blades for free. That's right, another entire set, a $300 value for free. Just pay shipping and processing. And we're still not done. If you're one of the first 500 callers, we'll send you 2 additional Miracle Blade World Class Slicers. That's an additional $80 value, totally free. Miracle Blade World Class is also guaranteed for life. We'll replace any damaged knife at any time for any reason for free forever. Over $600 worth of knives for just one payment of $39.95. Don't miss this opportunity. Call right now or just log on to miracleblade.com.
The whole point of getting into journalism for me has always been about giving a voice to the voiceless and really making sure that people who don't have opportunity to speak are heard. I feel like that's kind of why we're all in this industry, and that for me is the biggest reminder of okay, if this person feels like they're not being heard, we need to tell their story. So I don't think that in local news it's not about being one-sided, it's about telling both sides of the story and let the viewer decide their opinion, and that's what we're here to do.
Welcome back. I'm Scott Gross. Earlier today, John Madden, Hall of Fame coach and Emmy-winning sportscaster, passed at the age of 85. He led the Raiders to a Super Bowl victory and never had a losing season in his 10 years as head coach. Still, he had even more success off the field with a decades-long career in the broadcast booth. Jim Hill takes a look back at the life of John Madden.
A colorful character in the broadcast booth in his later years, it was John Madden's competitive demeanor on the sidelines as head coach of the Oakland Raiders that endeared him to football fans everywhere. Madden caught the eye of Raiders owner Al Davis, who hired him as linebacker coach in 1967. And 2 years later, 32-year-old John Madden would become the youngest head coach in the National Football League. Madden's blue-collar attitude and free spirit rubbed off on his players, and that was a recipe for success for the Silver and Black, as the Raiders won 7 division titles in his first 8 years there. 4 times, Madden's Raiders would lose in the playoffs to the eventual Super Bowl champion. But in 1976, things would finally go the Raiders' way. After losing just 1 regular season game, they faced their conference rival Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship game and beat Pittsburgh to advance to Super Bowl 11 in Pasadena. And Madden's time had come, as the Silver and Black beat the Vikings 32-14, giving the Raiders their first Super Bowl championship.
How's it feel? It's great. It's great. Waited a long time for it.
And after 10 seasons at the helm in Oakland, Madden walked off the sidelines for the last time in 1978. But the former coach found a new passion, one that would put him in the homes of nearly everyone in America and the hearts of football fans everywhere. Madden began a second career in the broadcast booth, and he was very creative. The first to do the kinds of play breakdowns that we're used to seeing today.
This is a father bucket, this is a mother bucket, and since the last game, they had a baby bucket.
But he was also very funny and genuine, unlike any analyst we'd seen before. And this was why he was tapped to broadcast 11 Super Bowls, Monday Night Football, and maybe more notably, Thanksgiving, where he would begin a tradition that continues today, awarding the turkey legs to the most valuable players of the winning team. His lovable persona brought him numerous endorsement deals, And in 1988, he was immortalized as one of the greatest selling sports video games of all time, and with well over 100 million copies sold to date, the game affectionately known as Madden. In 2006, Madden fittingly rode his cruiser to Canton, Ohio, after getting the call for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
About John Madden was he was afraid to fly, so instead he rode in his Madden cruiser across the country to all of the games and events that he appeared at. The College Holiday Bowl season is in full force this week. However, a few of them are being canceled due to COVID-19. Most notably, today's Holiday Bowl between UCLA and North Carolina State. UCLA was forced to pull out only hours before today's scheduled game in San Diego because of COVID-19 problems within the Bruins program. The Holiday Bowl is the fifth bowl game to be canceled because of COVID-19 issues, with at least one of the participating teams joining the Arizona Bowl, Hawaii Bowl, Fenway Bowl, and Military Bowl. Coming up, if you're thinking of taking your Christmas tree down this week or even next week, I'll let you know where you can take it for free of charge.
The Imperial Valley Auto year-end sales event. Come to your giant superstore in El Centro. Over 500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from. Experience the difference. Don't settle for just any vehicle. Get the one you want today. Over 500 pre-owned in stock. One of California's largest used inventories. Some of the lowest prices in all of Southern California right here in Imperial Valley. Great prices, great selection, great service, and great people. Experience the difference during this unprecedented year-end sales event going on now.
Are you over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days? I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. Call now for this free book on maximizing your income in retirement. Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers from leading financial firm J.D. Milberg. That's right, free. This book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we're about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known truths we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. And it's free.
Call 800-268-4040.
As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched numerous products and summarized rates and benefits of annuities, all from Sentinel Security Life Insurance Company.
Call 800-268-4040. That's 800-268-4040.
Call now.
It's time to find your adventure with Girl Scouts and Spirit Untamed. Wow.
Sign me up.
Let's go, girl. Whether you've got courage to spare.
Jump!
I just rode a horse. Skills worth showing off. We'll get your family back. Or you just want to make new friends.
I'm gonna call you Spirit.
There's always a home for you at Girl Scouts, where every spirit is encouraged to shine.
Oh, do I have marshmallow on my face? It's in your heart to run free. It's in mine, too. Trust me.
Rocky! Girl Scouts, come be yourself with us.
Welcome back. I'm Scott Gross. We just heard the obit of John Madden, who died at the age of 85. There is another passing that I want to share with you tonight. It is Henry Reid, the former Senate Majority Leader and the longest-running Congress member of Nevada, passed away today at the age of 82. Now, before we go today, as we start the Christmas tree recycling program in Yuma that got underway, many people like to keep their tree up until after the start of the new year, but many others like to get rid of it sooner rather than later. How about Christmas Day? Well, the trees were dropped off today behind the Yuma Civic Center for recycling. The city of Yuma will be collecting the trees free of charge, but please make sure to take the lights and ornaments off first.
Well, all of these have came in pretty clean. Some of them did have ornaments, but yeah, you just bring them here, drop them off. We'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, they'll take care of the rest. The tree drop-off is open from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, and it runs through January 7th, but is closed on New Year's Eve, which is Friday. Again, the free drop-off site is behind the Yuma Civic Center on South Avenue A. Let's take another look at your weather because we could have a wet end of 2021. Rain in the forecast for Yuma coming in on Thursday and Friday. Our average is 68 degrees. We'll be hovering right below that. A sunny day, though, coming our way on Saturday and Sunday as we start 2022. Turn the page for the Imperial Valley. Rain possibly coming into the afternoon tomorrow around 2 o'clock. Will last until Friday morning around 10 a.m. Look at those temperatures near freezing on the morning of Saturday and Sunday, all the way down to 33 degrees. That's our show tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Scott Gross. Stephen Colbert is next.